When I was growing up, and I hope I'm still growing up, President Moi used to say that you're the leaders of tomorrow. And we actually believed, and Mushai, my friend, is sitting here, that tomorrow may never come. But believe me, it has come. And I take full responsibility for the failure of leadership in this country. Because my most fundamental job, and I think that's job one, that is the job of citizenship. To the extent that leadership has failed, is also a blistering indictment to the quality of citizenship that we have in the country. We're a democracy, so that means that citizens pile on a line, wait their turn, that sometimes winds around buildings, school buildings, churches, and community spaces to cast their vote. Sonko did not wring necks to show up at City Hall. We voted in broad daylight to elect the governor of Nairobi. So we own the failures in leadership as citizens. And I think as we think about leadership, one of the things that we have to think about all the time is our own primary principle, primordial responsibility as citizens who at the age of 18 have the right to cast a vote. So I don't know what conversations we have with ourselves at night. When we are told the economy is on the brink of collapse, when we are told that our country is battered by the winds and the storms of insane amount of ethnicity. But here is what I want to tell you as I close. The day I will see 1 million Luos march with Raila to storm State House, then I believe there's such a thing as tribalism. The day I see 1 million Kalenjins march with Ruto to storm State House, I believe there's tribalism. I think this is an old game that we have to basically debunk because it is the calculus of the political elite to game stuff all the time. But the proceeds of government and corruption are very, very private gains. The millions they stick in their pockets, whether they are governors, MPs, presidents, deputy presidents, cabinet secretaries, these are personal pursuits. So why do you get enjoined in this conversation around our person? When right now, you're going to go home to the struggles of your daily life, they will be getting into helicopters tomorrow and attending funerals and having fun at the expense of the bereaved. So what is our problem as a people? When are we going to say enough? When are we going to start to have these reflective conversations amongst ourselves and to say it is time to take our country back? These conversations are old, but they're enduring. But what has failed to happen is for us to learn to basically think as citizens, to put our country first. And it is laughable because nobody's going to fix this country and there is only one country. You destroy this and that's it. You can't rent anybody's country. So if you don't fix this, nobody's coming to fix it. And if we don't own these conversations about first, lead thyself, then how are you going to lead other people? If you can't have an honest conversation around what should construct public discourse when it comes to making political choices. So I think what we need to think about is what country do we want to live in? And how do we start to own the conversations that move this country forward? You may have issues with BBI, but at the end of the day, it has created a national conversation. Weigh in and do something about it. I think if you read chapter 1, you're completely staggered by the enormity of the work that we have to do. The state of decay of the country, including the state of the family. A fundamental decline in trust among the people of this country. So how do you even have a conversation? How do you even trust each other when you can't even see eyeball to eyeball? How do you legislate our existence beyond the dysfunction of a constitution which is just a piece of paper if you don't inject the energy and the spirit of citizenship into it. It can't self-execute. It is as beautiful as it is in the paper that is written, but the constitution is made alive by actions of 1, 2, 3, 47 million citizens. So by itself, you can invoke it all the time. The constitution that, chapter this, chapter that. But at the end of the day, you have the leaders that you made. But I am so optimistic about the future of this country because it is in the hands of a brand new generation that must learn from the mistakes of our forebears. We have made our mistakes, and I am here to proclaim boldly that we are running out of time to fix it. We are handing the baton to you. So as an educator, what I do every single day is to make sure that we can do better for the next generation, that our best days are ahead of us. Thank you very much, and change the world.
Thank you.